What's going on, people? Jordan here, back with another video at the Stoltz Farm YouTube channel. Yesterday was Mother's Day, May 11, and our area broke the record for heat. I read this morning the previous record for heat was set in 1900, which I'm not exactly sure how these things are measured or recorded over history, but apparently yesterday was the hottest May 11 in the last 125 years here in North Dakota. We were about 96 degrees, I think, it measured eventually in our area. Probably around the farm was more like 92, 93 degrees. Pretty strong winds too, so things are dry, things are hot, and this is just temporary. I think it's gonna kind of cool off late this week into the weekend, and hopefully bring some moisture along with that. Right now, we are kind of dealing with some of the hot summer type weather we do get in the Midwest. Contrary to popular opinion that we're just cold all the time, it does get pretty hot and humid, but not this early typically. This is pretty hot for May, and something we're having to kind of deal with this spring, which is unique. Not too bad we have an air-conditioned cab and a tractor, however. We are one tractor out of commission today, which is kind of why I'm here in the 8770. We're cultivating in some land that's been fertilized. That's what I did all day yesterday for 11, 12 hours. Just cultivated some land we spread some more, cultivated some more, spread some more, cultivated some more. I didn't record. I was just going, you know, back and forth for the most part. And wanted to update you guys today because we're actually down a tractor. The 9520 needs some kind of electronic type parts, solenoid type things that are preventing it from shifting out of park. So we're kind of stuck literally in the yard with it in park, which isn't ideal. Can't be planting when your tractor isn't parked. It's hooked up to the air seeder. That fix should happen tomorrow. They needed to special order the part for that tractor, so we'll be back up and running with canola planting, wheat planting, and that kind of thing tomorrow. I believe we'll do some canola. That's the ground we cultivated yesterday and a couple days ago. It's kind of where we stand. Down a tractor, cultivating till then, getting things ready to go, and then we'll have to plant like madmen. Let's get started this video, everybody. Thanks for joining me. So I do have the cultivator going behind me. You can see this is actually a field that's been done. I'm just hitting the outsides again here. This was a field we did with the Salford disc, which was kind of one of our new pieces of farm equipment. It's working okay. It's fast and it does till up the land, but it is pretty shallow compared to a normal cultivator. And some of this ground, which was soybean ground, is pretty packed down because we rolled the soybean ground. And you know, obviously drive on it as well, especially along the outsides and near the approaches. So where things are pretty packed, that Salford doesn't really till it up enough to bury the fertilizer like we need it to really utilize it properly. So we are having to hit a few areas that the Salford just couldn't stir it up enough with. Most of the middle of this is fine, which is good because that saves a lot of time, but I am having to hit the outsides here couple times, and then the low spots and ditches and things like that. So I'm kind of ripping around these fields that have been disked yesterday, and the spreader is getting filled now on its way out to spread the field behind me. That's kind of what's going on right now. Stay tuned. Everybody, so to update you on what's going on, we had a good bit of rain and some cooler weather. We were at like 95 plus degrees for a little bit, and then we dropped down to like 45 degrees for a little bit. Kind of record highs and record lows actually for the state, and we did get a couple inches of rain as well over the last few days and last couple weeks. So there's a large gap in between when I filmed last for this video and now when we're kind of resuming the field work, which is kind of how spring work goes. You get done what you can when you can, and try not to stress about it if you can't do anything about it. And that's kind of where we've been. Try not to analyze anything or wish we were out in the field when we just simply cannot be, because it's been too wet with the rain. As you can see though, I'm headed out with the cultivator. We're going to kind of switch between a few different cultivators today. I'll explain that in a little bit, but this first one I'm taking out is kind of more of a lighter cultivator with more of like a sweep shaped shovel, so kind of angled a little bit just to kind of break up the top of the surface a little bit more and hopefully not leave any ridges and gaps. Reason for that being, primary focus today is weed killing. So we are able to get out in the field in some spots. There's some spots that are just too wet still, so we're not going to be out all day. That'll probably come tomorrow when it dries off a little bit more. Today the sprayer's going out for a good bit of time, maybe till the middle of the afternoon. That's going to be working to kill some really heavy weedy spots, and then today I'm almost going to be cultivating and chisel plowing up some spots that need those weeds dug out. There's a lot of like dandelions and grass type weeds all around. So killing weeds is the target today. Probably won't be in the air seeder much today. We're going to let things dry out just a little bit more and then probably jump in it tomorrow if we can. I got more updates for you guys on the broken tractor, the 9520, and we'll get into that later in the video. So welcome back to the same video, just quite a bit later. Let's go dig up some dirt with this little cultivator. Back at it again the next day here in one of our fields, trying as hard as I can to avoid the wet spots in the field with the sulfur disc now instead of that little cultivator. Completed those pieces yesterday. I mean, we were kind of dinking around this morning trying to find dry stuff to do. A lot of the stuff is just a little too wet still, and we're just fighting that here as we go. You know, we got quite a bit of seeding left to do, some wheat, and then we got to do soybeans too. It's getting to be almost the end of May. It's May 26th today, and we'd like to finish wheat by May 31, and we kind of need to be done seeding for full coverage insurance by June 10. So we're running out of time to get stuff done. So we're trying to find something to do, and everything's just like a little bit wet and sticky in some spots, enough to kind of make it a pain. Rather than do nothing and get even more behind though, we are doing what we can. So I'm out here in this field here, which is going to be soybean field, and got the sulfur disc going. We do still have to spread this field with the fertilizer spreader, but that can come after we do this, dry it out a little bit, and then we can use the air seeder to dig in that fertilizer as well that we spread. So we press on. Things are wet, but things are progressing in their own way, I suppose. This spring it always seems kind of crazy, but we usually get it done anyways, and we'll see how this year shakes out. Stay tuned. another day for the farm video, continuing on here. Got a little bit of wheat planted yesterday and some fields cultivated, making good progress. Now things are really drying out after giving this thing a day or two to kind of give it its time that it needs. Picked up some rocks, as you saw with the side-by-side, just some ones that were found planting, or buzzed around, picked those up, threw them in the rock piles, and now here in the cultivator for the 8770. And working some more of these fields that will be soybean ground. Kind of the idea right now is continue planting wheat, get the soybean ground ready, spread it, and then plant it on top of what's spread, and then we'll need to roll it. So kind of a 3 or 4 step process here left for planting this spring, but things are going right along. The sky's pretty dark, but we haven't got rain really much to speak of right now, so things are drying out quite nicely, and we press on. Everybody, it's actually the next day. I'm about to go out and cultivate again. We're probably going to switch to soybeans in the air seeder today as well, which is kind of a big shift in the planting plan, I guess. Something I'll go over next video. I think I'm going to end the video here. This has been kind of a weird, all over the place video. I don't really know how it's going to flow, but thank you for watching anyways. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already, and you know, be sure to stay up to date on all our planting shenanigans and farming successes and mishaps. I appreciate you guys very, very much, and thank you for sticking with the farm channel. I'm gonna head out and cultivate a little bit more, and thank you for watching this video. Peace.